What is going on? We have quite a few new projects. Got Adam's song behind us. So we're gonna do a little shop tour, I guess, real quick before we get in and start hitting it. So Bradley, the one that has the E36 convertible back here, he actually just sold it. So we're putting a clutch in the car for the new owner, and we picked up a 4-door Skyline, which happens we're gonna end up putting this KAT. Yeah, it's gonna be wicked. Trying to get back into the whole YouTube swing of things. We had a lot of things go on in the past couple weeks, months, since basically getting the S15, which unfortunately for the news, I know some of you guys are going to be pretty pissed that I'm doing this, but I love it. Gonna do it. So in fact, it's not totaled, but in some people's eyes, it's totaled. Basically, the reason why we didn't do much of an update, waiting for parts. I still am waiting for parts. We got our Origin Lab order in, thanks to Dustin Miles. We got 75mm front and rears. Pretty pumped to get those fitted properly all the way. If you can see, I already got the fronts just kind of test fit. We still gotta, trim a whole bunch of stuff and, clean up everything. Sorry, yeah, clean. But for overall, out of the box, I was pretty happy with it. We got Type 2 FRP roof wing. Basically, I've told myself that all my updates are going to be on YouTube until everything's released, and then I'll continue on social media. So what we're doing today is, once again, what people consider totaling a car. We're cutting the fender out for the rears. Basically, we're just gonna cut a smooth line all the way across each side, and we're gonna hit up the metal, stitch weld it, grind it down, and then today we're not gonna seam seal it, but I'm gonna seam seal it prior to driving. We're gonna do the same stuff on the other side. Adam's making a lot of noise over here. He's cutting out some more stuff in the rear of his car. Why are you making so much noise?
Floor jack.
I know. So we have a lot of things to do on that car too. We ended up finishing up a cage for the S13. I got some bash bars to do. I got some bash bars to do on his car. But tomorrow, which probably won't have any time to edit this until sometime this week, which, it is what it is, but Monday, which would be February 10th, we get our Super Doof order. So we ordered a 2F Performance Super Doof kit for this, and I think it's going to be magnificent. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to get everything out, and we also got a new to me air compressor. So this is like a big step. We got an 80-gallon, 6.5 horsepower snap-on. Local, cheap, really cheap. It works great. So basically that's just gonna help out with the projects around here. I usually stick to a lot of electric tools. Sorry for this thing's blurry at all. Still getting the hang of this whole gyro stuff. I don't use it often. I know I need to start doing it. That was the idea behind buying a Canon G7X and a gyro system. So what we're gonna do today, also, we did pick up a new tow rig. One of the new tow rigs, something from one-day events. We still have the big tow rig that's outside, which I still really want to show you guys that once it's kind of nicer out. I drove it around yesterday, moved some people around. It's an International 4900 ambulance, converted into my toter home. So, but today I'm gonna get everything set up and we're gonna go ahead and start cutting this. So, yeah, commitment. But yeah, we got some. I already cut the fenders too. Just a little bit. These things are wide. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the fenders. We're gonna do some rivets, rivet holes. I got Cleco clips, and we'll go from there. Alrighty guys, this is make or break. So basically all we're gonna do is just cut this out. And once I do, I already made a little mark. There ain't no return. Just gonna do it. Basically what we did here is, this is the proper way to cut this. This is what how I always, not always, but I do want to kind of make sure you guys do that. A lot of people, let's bring it even closer, a lot of people like to cut slits, fold them up, bend them over, looks tacky. So basically what you do is, like you seen in the picture or the video previously, you want to cut an arch. I'm going to clean this up with an angle grinder. And what you do is the outside peels away from the fender, the inner fender. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and get this so you can see it right here. Just peels out, it's got panel bond. What we're going to do next, we're going to cut the other side. And then we'll come in here, we'll take a hammer, beat the inner fender up to the outside fender. So you're gonna do that. You're gonna clean all this up, clean all that up, and then you're gonna kind of like get an idea where you got to cut it another arch all the way across. Once you beat this in, because then you're gonna come in here, tack weld it, every inch. Grind down the tack welds, and then we're going to seam seal this. None of this is going to be done today besides probably cutting this, grinding and tack welding it. I want to get the over fenders off or on. But yeah, this just kind of hurt. As soon as I made the first cut, it was game over. So we're just going to work. Oops, did just catch that. Oh well. So you're going to work. You can kind of see. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but there's actual spot welds. So we're just going to go ahead and get this off of here and move on to the other side. Alrighty, from that angle, kind of look crooked, but from this, it's pretty damn good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly clean this up here. Basically, that's where all we're gonna do some body work to get this. So we got that all cleaned up. The next step is we're going to hammer this inner fender to the outer fender, and then we'll figure out where we got to take a cut all the way across. Alrighty, so what we're doing now, so we got the inner fender all the way off. You can see, this is the glue I was talking about. There's glue, and then there's some spot welds with terrible lighting. So what we're doing, to bring you guys just a little bit closer, I'll show you really quick. So basically, you're beating the inner fender all the way up till it sits flush of the outer fender. And then we'll go back and then I'll clean up all the welds, and then we'll seam seal it. Like I said, today we're not going to seam seal it. We're just going to get it kind of beaten up. There's a lot of, like, you kind of can feel where the clearance is. It's kind of like just a touchy subject. You got to feel it, you know, work with it. So it's more like massaging the inner fender into place. So basically, I use a little bit bigger of a hammer. Kind of got to, and then you break out the Matco MDS dolly. It's a multi-dolly. By all means, Matco did not pay me to do that. So basically, you only use this just to keep the outside straight as best as you can. Like I said, I'm gonna go back and I'll finish it once everything's done. But you kind of just, like, you know. Alrighty guys, so we are back. We're continuing on the S15 today. As you can see in previous videos, we cut the fender out, the rear fender quarter, and beat the inner fender well kind of flush. That's how you properly supposed to do that. See if you can get a sneak peek. Oh, let me see. Yeah, see, it's kind of hard to see, but I welded it. I still got to grind and clean it up, but the main focus was to get these bad boys mounted. Oh, anyway, look at these. Damn. Dude, these things are huge. So, what we're gonna do is go on to the other side, which I'll go ahead and take you. I'm not gonna time lapse this video, or time lapse this part. I'm not even gonna record it because it's the same process as what we did on the other side. We're gonna cut it out and we're gonna mount it up, because tomorrow is gonna be another install of my Super Doof kit. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll do another video once we get this side all installed. This is day 2 of the same video I did yesterday. So basically, I ran into some issues, not even really issues, but I had some other priorities to take care of. Obviously, I live in Ohio. Started snowing. Long story short, I paid somebody to food film. I actually used vegetable oil and it didn't last, so I took it upon myself to buy food film products. They're gone and sprayed it myself, but you know, whatever. So behind me, side of me, what we have is another package that we've been waiting for a little bit. I already opened it because I was super impatient, but last night we did get the one passenger side fender, over fender mounted. Came out really clean, as you can tell. So we still got to do some trimming, You know, it's fiberglass. It's, you know, it is what it is. The other side, so this was the first quarter panel. You obviously seen how we cut. I don't know why it needs to start focusing more. I don't know if I'm moving too fast or what. So this, the passenger side, was the first quarter panel that we cut on this car. We had to do some minor adjustments. And this side, the driver's side, actually came out magnificent. I couldn't ask for a better outcome. It just, it laid in there perfect. We stitch welded it. I gotta clean it up still. But as you can see, just kind of, it fell in there. It was perfect. So what we are gonna do today is, I'm gonna mount this up quickly. And then, you might have already seen it, we got our package from 2F. Super pumped to actually try that out. So we have down below, let me just, 2F skirts. Behind me is the rear bumper. Shop's a little messy now. And there's the front bumper. So what we're gonna do right now is we're making marks on the over fender. A line and a line across. Basically just to tell us where our holes are gonna be drilled. So then once that over fender is mounted properly, just with some Cleco clips, we're gonna go ahead and remove the front OEM crash bar right here, and then we're gonna start adjusting and trying to fit the front fenders, which it has very, very minor adjustment. Actually pretty thrilled on how they came from Origin Lab. So we're just gotta kind of work it in there a little bit. We'll actually, I don't know if I'm gonna record that because it's gonna get pretty dusty in here. It's not really good for the camera. But once that's done, then we're gonna go ahead and mount the side skirts, and then the front bumper, and then the rear bumper. Alrighty, what's going on? We got a couple helpers today. So, as previously stated, let's go down. Today, what? What is the gimbal? Yeah. So we went ahead and mounted up the 2F Super Doof kit, along with, we got the Origin fenders, 75 front, 75 rears. We got those mounted decently. Still some trimming to do, lots of trimming actually. Lots of stuff to still do, but this thing is wide. And we also got the hood somewhat. Still got to get this to sink down, but overall, for what, 3 hours of progress, it came out pretty fucking sick. Let's get another angle. So on the next part, I think we're gonna do some body work, rusted trimming. Previous segments, how we cut and stitch welded all this. We'll go ahead and seam seal this and get the body ready for paint. We also have to mount the back bumper, front bumper, and side skirts securely so nothing falls off. But other than that, we also got to get this all ready for paint, and then we're shaving the trunk, which over here just got a couple holes to fill, which is pretty small. This is where the OEM S15 wing was. So overall, not much work to do. We have a little under, actually just over a month for the piston power show, which we have to get this ready for. So we're gonna go ahead and edit everything up and get this released here at Race Lab Industries. See ya.